Good afternoon. I want to say warm, bright, and sunny day. It is Sunday, October the 29th. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and a parcel to continue unboxing. This is a big parcel actually from Lightning Source Drive-Through RPG. So I have already unboxed this mammoth 400-page tome, Gods of the Forbidden North, but I'm going to follow it up with... Well, I'm not going to follow it up because I haven't got the next part because it's not yet available, but I am going to unbox the other book in there, which is The City That Time Forgot. Welcome to Parvis, Old Parvis 1619 ST, Parvis and, the Pavis and Big Rebel Companion, Director's Cut, Volume 2, Expanded Cult, Background Information, and Adventure Generation details, plus scenarios, personalities, and locations for the epic Pavis Grand Plan campaign. And this is another tome from the Johnstown Compendium, okay, which is the community content program set up by Chaosium to support RuneQuest role-playing Glorantha, Quest Worlds when it's on Glorantha, and 13th Age Glorantha. So, the Parvis Grand Plan. The day will come when all who dwell within the city will be tested. Our enemies will be countless from within and without, and even our allies may drift with the changes of the wind. If you think the time of the giants is over, you're sorely mistaken. Skies will darken with their shadows once again as they battle to the death. Yet we are not just specks beneath the feet of gods. Our ways are ancient, and our magic grows stronger with the passing of time. Watch for the signs and choose your loyalties wisely. Anonymous speaker at the Founders Market in New Paris. Welcome to Volume 2 of Pavis and Big Rebel Companion, Director's Cut, Old Pavis, the City That Time Forgot. Now, Pavis itself, as you can see, this is really divided into two areas. You have Pavis, New Pavis, which is a tiny little city, or even a really quite a large town, stuck on the edge of a wide, large, ruined city. And for many years, when it came to RuneQuest, people didn't think of Sartar and the central part of Dragon Pass as the area where they would be gaming. They thought of Pavis and the Big Rubble, which is the ruins of the old city, and Prax, the area between. There are those people who are still fascinated by the city and will bring it back to life with supplements like this. Now, of course, this being a Johnstown Compendium title, it does mean it falls under your Glorantha may vary, so it's not official content, but it's based upon official material. Okay, we open up with frontispiece for supplement, acknowledgements and content, index, and an introduction to the second volume. And we open up with Part 1, People of the Ruins, Holiday to Glorantha, the real city of Old Pavis. So getting there, visiting the city, the real city interior, residents of the city, and so on. And before we get on to people of note, what we encountered there, all nicely illustrated. The real city watch, dealing with the authorities, before we have places of interest like the Pavis Temple, and here we have a map of the real city. And what might be found there. I've got descriptions of each of the locations. And then full stats for many of the NPCs. The Real Inn, the oldest pub in Pavis, complete with a floor plan there. And the upper floors, more artwork. And then We have tour tales at the real inn, so bits of gossip, typically events at the inn. So it's sort of like you're using it as kind of a base to explore further. And then what my people told, and so there's that. And then what my uncle told me about my people, which is giving you a view of, you know, from a priest of Lord Pavis might know about his background and his culture and so on. And that gives you a very personal view before we have a list of the Pavis Pantheon. And the noble clans of Old Pavis. And the Manside families. And even dwarves that can be found there. And how they might be encountered. And cultural skills, so you can actually have flint nail dwarf adventurers, and then we have a group of dwarves, the rubble trackers, basically will operate in the big rubble, the remnants of the old city, and then we have a hero cult that is seriously. So the idea also, in addition to things like purchasing dwarf goods, so you can interact with them as well, and it's essentially flint nail weapons, and that includes, so you've got a list of all their equipment, and that includes black powder weapons. And if you're going to have black powder weapons, you're going to have black powder weapon fumble tables. And then we have a rebel tracker squad, all the stats for them. In part 2, cults of the old city, including the cult of Pavis and its mysteries, how it's worshipped, and spirit magic unique to the cult, and the different essentially sub-cults. So it's Pavis the city founder, Pavis the grower, Pavis the overseer. And associated again, Flintnail the artisan, the Flintnail dwarves, Mirelda the archivist, and so on. The hero cult of Opali the defender. And then we have the Manside Watch Patrol, more stats for NPCs that can be encountered whilst exploring the region. We have hero cult of Shalbaris the Harmonist. Cult of Illyria in Old Pavis Illyria is the goddess of love. Most notable that the most players and referees of Grand will encounter Illyria or her worship at the cult of the Temple of Illyria at Apple Lane, which is far too small to have a temple like that, but it does. The Rebel Spirit tradition. Essentially a tradition for your shamans, earth spirits that can be encountered, rebel ancestor spirits encountered as by your shaman, and then with the saga of Bistro Boglita. So you have a bit of lore told as a tale, and then the actual cult of Flintnail. So you could be a dwarf, and then we have Old Pavic adventurers. So creating Old Pavic adventurers characters, cultural background details, the nature of the Old Pavic homeland, which provides the base culture of the character. Then you essentially, if you were creating a character, you'd roll through the events of the previous, probably 50 years or so, to create the history of your sort of like your immediate family, all the way up through to 1619, and this will be in conjunction with the RuneQuest role-playing Inglaratha rules. And then Old Pavic occupations and sample adventures. So you've got the Old Pavic cultural skill bonuses, and then you've got notes on the various occupations like bandit and crafter, city acolytes, hunter, gardener, healer, old city defender, and then example characters you can use as NPCs or go to player characters or pre-generated, including a newtling. And then we have a section on the big rebel, so you can see there's New Pavis up there in the corner, and there's the big rebel. Big Rebel GM's location index. You've got a big guide to the big rebel, including the new Flint Nail Temple, and some of its denizens, including a metal warrior and a standard and stone warrior. Temple interior with a floor plan, and then dwarf drinks, Flint Nail's performance enhancing beverages. A little bit like the infamous drinks served by us, which are not fit for human consumption. These may well probably are, and we've got a full list of them there. And got things like social drinking dwarf drinks, other mechanics, and the rapid beverage deployment system. So guidance for getting into your dwarf quickly, and then individual drinks are fully detailed and their effects. And then we move on to Rubble Trolls and the Troll Market. So more locations which can be encountered. I've got a list of sample troll goods. And then there's some different activities you can be going on there. And then adventures continue. So, and then we have Finding Nemu Part 1. I'm guessing this is the first part of an adventure. And there is even a chance here. It says meeting Griselda. Griselda is an important figure in the lore of Parvis, as much as she's part of the setting. In so you can read about her in the Tales of Griselda, but you can actually encounter her as part of the campaign. She's a resident of Pavis. So you basically the characters are investigating, trying to find some items and so on, and then we come down to the close and transition to loose ends, carrying on from the scenario, going on to the next. And then part 2 is Krang's Stronghold. And we have key elements of the mission, breaking it down, what we've got to do, including assault on the stronghold, making the plan of attack, and we've got all stats for the trolls. And then Ghost in the Darkness is continues from section 1, from volume 1, sorry. And then more aspects, more elements of the setting and storyline, and then Pavis walks the boundaries. Here's some of the myths of the Pavis cult, and modelling that to how you might become Pavis initiates, and perform hero quests, and then on the hero plane. So this is a ground hero quest as part of the Pavis cult. For grand finale at Zadro's lair, brings this to a close. And then winding up and moving on. Enemies and encounters for the lair. Scenarios from other sources, running some of these in this campaign, so there's options on expanding the campaign and source material, some of which is more readily available than others. And then we have local cult details, the Pavis cult priesthood. So various NPCs which the player character will encounter as members, or basically whether they're not members of the cult or not, and then fully statted and detailed, including the new Pavis Special Investigations Unit, whether that's Pavis CSI, I don't know, Pavic Philosophy, and then we've got another map, and then we've got the advert for the next book, which is Secrets of the Borderlands, Welcome to Pavis County, 1620, The Pavis and the Big Rebel Companion, Director's Cut, Volume 3. Yet more adverts for forthcoming books. They actually get up to volume 5. So yeah, that's the second part of the campaign. The City That Time Forgot, Welcome to Old Pavis 1619. So you can play this as a complete campaign away from whatever's going on in Sartar in the future. Perhaps go and play that in Sartar whether you're older characters. But this allows you to explore sort of like some of the history and setting of the game away from what's going, sort of like what is essentially now its main stage. So, hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you take the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.